Okay. Well, good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for joining us on this very warm afternoon here in London. So this is the final lecture in our series. We're today launching the CO Summer Awareness Campaign. Those of you that know the CO Research Trust may be aware that we are now working with two other partners to support the work of the All-Party Parliamentary CO Group. We're working with Palace Yard and Playfair Marketing. So today we're going to be joined by Rob Lyons, who is the founder and CEO of Playfair Marketing, who are running this campaign this summer. Rob's going to join me in the room in a moment and is going to present the aims of the campaign and go through some of the collateral and materials. And the slides will be shared on Monday. And if you have any questions, if you could put them in the chat, and then what we'll do is we will ask Rob, or we can have a conversation at the end of the presentation. I'm going to hand over to Rob now. Well, once Rob's come into there we go, happy days. So now Rob's here in the room with us. I am going to hand over to him. Welcome, Rob. Thanks for joining us. The
Thank you
floor
very
is yours.
much.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. I'll get straight to it in terms of the presentation. So I'll share my screen now. So hopefully you can see this now. So here we go. So yeah, thank you everyone for joining us today. Thank you, Adrian and his team, for the opportunity to speak to you all. It's a great way to launch and give the insights for the summer campaign. This is a campaign that we set up many years ago because we felt there was always this vacuum of awareness for carbon monoxide in the summer. And actually, it's a time where we probably can be at our most vulnerable because it's when we least expect carbon monoxide to be a threat. So I'll run through this for you all today. Now, I just want to start with this slide here. So this is why the campaign exists. Now, these four faces looking at you today, they're specifically important to me in that I've met the parents and spent time with the parents of everyone you can see here. Hudson Foley, who tragically died whilst traveling in South America. Katie Haynes, again, tragically died just weeks after her wedding, unnecessarily from carbon monoxide poisoning. Dominic Rogers, met his mum Stacey years ago when I first started to really get involved in carbon monoxide awareness. Dominic the carbon monoxide didn't come from his property, it came through the brickwork, seeped into his bedroom while he slept. And Eloise Littlewood, who it was her parents that I've met, but they, in her circumstances, just moved into a brand new apartment, excited. All of these people, absolutely in the early stages of their life, it was taken away so suddenly from carbon monoxide. And I think once you've spent time with a parent who's told you their stories, you share tears with them, you can't then walk away. I don't want to be doing this campaign. I don't think this campaign should have to exist because we should all know about carbon monoxide, but people don't know. People continue to lose lives. Families seem to continue to suffer. So we'll keep going until the message is firmly through. So the contents here, so what we're going to be running through, this is as a decks go from a presentation perspective, very word heavy, but that's because I'll be sharing with you afterwards. That'll be shared on Monday. So I will be reading from some of the text, some of the slides, but it's just so you've got all the information you need afterwards. You don't need to take any notes. It's all going to be covered. So please just listen and enjoy what we're explaining to you. But this is all about helping organisations raise awareness of the dangers of carbon monoxide and the importance of fitting CO alarms in every home and being equally prepared during the summer. Whether staying in the UK or travelling abroad, please use these resources freely to help protect communities in the UK. So we're going to be covering about the campaign itself, the campaign theme for this year, the key messages, some of the social media message specifically. I'll explain the TAP campaign toolkit to you, how you can get involved, and then some stats and facts. So carbon monoxide, I imagine a lot of people here know all about it, but for those that maybe don't, I'm going to just run through this for you. So carbon monoxide is a poisonous gas that can affect anyone, anywhere, at any time. Often referred to as the silent killer, it cannot be seen, smelled, or tasted, making it one of the most dangerous hazards found in homes, workplaces, and public buildings. Every year, people across the UK are exposed to carbon monoxide due to faulty appliances, blocked flues, poor ventilation, or incorrectly installed heating systems. Many incidents are preventable, yet awareness of the risks remains painfully low. Carbon monoxide poisoning can cause headaches, dizziness, nausea, confusion, and fatigue. In severe cases, it can lead to permanent injury or death. Because the symptoms are often mistaken for common illnesses, such as the flu, many people do not realize they're being exposed until it's far too late. Our carbon monoxide awareness campaign exists to educate, inform, and encourage action. By raising awareness of the dangers, promoting regular maintenance of fuel burning appliances, and highlighting the importance of carbon monoxide alarms and detection, both at home and on holiday, we can prevent avoidable tragedies. Now, awareness saves lives, so every conversation, every alarm installed, and every safety check completed helps reduce the risk of carbon monoxide poisoning and protects those who are most vulnerable. Our vision of the future is that everyone understands the risks of carbon monoxide and has the knowledge protection needed to stay safe. Together, we can shine a light on the invisible threat and help create safer homes, workplaces, holidays, and communities for everybody. So about the summer campaign, the campaign is running from the 20th of July to the 31st of August. And the carbon monoxide campaign highlights a simple but vital message for everyone traveling this summer. Take a carbon monoxide alarm with you. Don't pack blind. Carbon monoxide can be present in any environment where fuel is burned, including holiday accommodation, caravans, boats, rented properties, and temporary stays. It does not discriminate between homes and holiday destinations and offers no visible or sensory warning of its presence. Each year, people are affected by carbon monoxide exposure whilst away from home, often in unfamiliar buildings where safety measures may be unknown or inconsistent. In these environments, a portable carbon monoxide alarm provides a critical layer of protection. The campaign is calling on travellers, families, and holidaymakers to make safety part of their packing routine. Just as you would take travel essentials such as plug adapters and sun cream, a carbon monoxide alarm should be considered as an essential item for any trip where a fuel burning appliance may be present. This simple action can provide early warning, quicker responses, and help prevent potentially life-threatening situations. The carbon monoxide awareness campaign encourages everyone to take responsibility for their safety, whether at home or away. Making small, proactive choices, we can help reduce the risk and protect ourselves and those we travel with, because safety doesn't stay at home. So we're asking people to join us from the 20th to 31st, 20th of July to the 31st of August, and as we encourage people across the UK to make carbon monoxide awareness part of every journey. So the message for 2026, don't pack blind. The strapline this year highlights the vital role of awareness and preparation when travelling, ensuring that safety is never left to chance when staying away from home. Every trip, whether a holiday, short stay, or overnight visit, can bring unfamiliar environments where carbon monoxide risks may be present. From rented accommodation to caravans and boats, protection depends on the small but vital choices people make before they leave. A packed carbon monoxide alarm, a moment of awareness, a decision to not assume safety is already in place. Every action helps reduce risk and ensures people are protected wherever they go, because safety does not stop at the door. So our key messages this year are: don't pack blind. You can't see it, smell it, or taste it. Keep an alarm in any room with a fuel burning appliance. Carbon monoxide poisoning can affect everyone. Awareness saves lives. Packing a carbon monoxide alarm could save a life. And carbon monoxide can affect anyone, anywhere. And we have our campaign hashtags there, which really help the amplification of the campaign. So again, you'll see all this later on, but please use these where you can so that it helps amplify the message and make our campaign bigger and stronger. So don't pack blind. These are the messages you can see here. So what we want to make people question is there something that I've missed? Is there something I should have had in my case that I now don't? We have static imagery and videos. This video didn't play particularly well in the run through, but one later does. But you'll see all these in the campaign pack. This is all about questioning: have I got everything? Is there something I've missed? And then obviously alerting people that a carbon monoxide alarm is that item that you've missed, and you must take one away with you. We'll also cover all the key safety messages required. So things like outdoor CO sources. There are some tragic examples. I've met people who lost loved ones when a barbecue that was deemed to be cold and safe, actually was just to remove it from the rain, was brought into a barbecue, but still giving off lethal amounts of carbon monoxide and killed somebody while they slept. It can happen, and it's something you wouldn't expect. So we're talking things like outdoor heaters, we're looking at any sort of outdoor cooking implements. there are many sources of outdoor influence that give off carbon monoxide. We want to make sure people know never to bring them indoors and to make sure they're still maintained and correct. Symptoms of carbon monoxide, again, I imagine lots of people, because you're here today, you know about it, but we need to assume that the general public don't. Carbon monoxide, one of its biggest issues, that its symptoms can be mistaken for other things. There's been situations in the UK where people have gone to even see their GP, thinking they had carbon monoxide poisoning, only to be dismissed as something like the flu and sent straight back to the source. We need to make sure people, if they can't put their finger on why they have a headache, maybe they're suffering some stomach pain, difficulty breathing, they could feel faint and dizzy. We need these to be alarm bells that it could be carbon monoxide poisoning. Now, we also want to highlight those that are at greater risk of carbon monoxide poisoning. People that are slightly older, pregnant women and unborn babies, people with respiratory problems and children. We want to, by flagging these key elements that are more at risk, it will only highlight the awareness. We want to make people aware that everybody's at risk, but we want to make sure we amplify the message that there are some key groups that are even more at risk, and these people will be more likely to take action if they're represented in the campaign. So we're making sure that everyone is aware. Different holiday locations, same risk. So what I wanted to get across here is really show people so many different environments which they would associate with the summer holiday, whether it be a static caravan, tent, a hotel, a gîte in the south of France, an apartment in Greece, for example. There is this perception that when you go away, everything's taken care of. That isn't always the case. So what we want to make people aware of, only a carbon monoxide alarm will warn you the danger, and there's a different location, this same risk. If anything, people are less aware of dangers when they go away. We do things while we're on holiday we wouldn't often do at home. Like I'm sure we've all had a few too many cocktails and gone swimming. You probably wouldn't do that at home, but you might do it on holiday. Our safety awareness is lowered whilst away. We want to make sure that that awareness for safety is heightened and people take the right action. Now, this year we are going to be retelling Kathy Foley's her son Hudson's tragic story. We worked with Kathy back in 2024. She very kindly enabled us to speak to her, interview her and her husband and her son, all about learn about Hudson. This was a young man who was in the absolute prime of his life, full of energy, traveling the world with the world in front of him, and a carbon monoxide incident took that life away. I will try and play one of these videos because I think Kathy's words are so strong. It may not have audio, so bear with me when your end, but it did in the run through, so hopefully you can hear this now.
And even now, there's days when I think, oh, he's still traveling. But then when I go up to where he's buried, I realise that he's not. And we recently had what would have been his 25th birthday.
Now, I've interviewed many parents of people who've tragically lost loved ones to carbon monoxide poisoning, all heartbreaking. But in Kathy's instance, it was only less than a year after the incident, so it was very raw. So Kathy was incredibly brave, and I was so grateful to her to tell that story. I think we all owe it to her and to Hudson to make sure we share them further, so that we can make sure other people don't have to have their hearts broken, as you can clearly see Kathy was. So the social media messages. Now, we've created these to make it as easy as possible. If you have a marketing team, you want to do your own nuance on a message, create things from scratch, absolutely fine. What we've done here is we've created some recommended posts for sharing during the week. You can copy and paste them, you can add any wording, you can create your own. One thing we'd ask you to try and do is use the hashtags don't pack blind, CO awareness, carbon monoxide awareness, and CO alarm saves lives. It just really helps spread the message, helps us monitor how the campaign's doing, how we can potentially amplify. If there's an audience that we see are really gravitating to the campaign, we can really latch onto that and try and go even bigger and better with it. This is all available in the asset kit, and we encourage you to really take full use of that asset kit. Here's three more examples. So the campaign toolkit that we've created, everything you'll need to support the campaign in one place. We will have social media posts, both vertical and square. So if we use across all social media profiles, you've got banners to put at the top of all your social media feeds and logos and with the key messaging. Please feel free to use the assets. Adapt the wording that is right for your audience. Our goal here always is to get the message as far and wide as humanly possible. We'll be posting between the 20th of July and 31st August. We ask that you wait till that 20th of July to day 2. But from that phase, please, if you have scheduling software, schedule things out throughout the whole period. Equally, you can just follow the CO Alarm Saves Lives social media channels yourself, share, retweet, amplify, repost, everything we can do to make this campaign go as far as possible. We don't have the luxury of huge budgets for TV advertising, extra budget, something we're going to work on in future years. But your efforts to repurpose and amplify will make this campaign go far further. All the videos will also be on our YouTube channel, including all past videos as well. So we've got so many real life stories available on there. Please feel free to watch and share these throughout the campaign. Alongside that suggested wording, you can adapt it to suit your tone. Basically, we want this campaign to spread as far and wide as possible, so we try to make it as easy for you to get involved as you possibly can. So just recapping on how to get involved, use the social posts we've created, add on the banners and use the logos from the toolkit across all your social media channels to help keep the messaging clear and consistent. You can share the real life stories on our YouTube channel, and there's assets in the library as well to help highlight the real impact of carbon monoxide exposure. Use the messaging. Feel free to use the exact copy that we've suggested and tailor it to your audience, or equally do it from scratch. All we're trying to do is keep the messaging as consistent as we can and get involved between those dates, the 20th of July and 31st of August. Every post, every share, every mention during the campaign increases the reach, and we can get to more people, we can save more lives. And here's just some statistics. These are official statistics. I actually believe the numbers will be far higher, just because carbon monoxide as it is, often by the time that people are able to say do coroner's reports and the like, the carbon monoxide would have left people's bodies and it will be put down generically as poisoning. But just some stats here which you may choose to use. Around 7 people a year die of carbon monoxide poisoning linked to gas appliances and flus. Carbon monoxide continues to cause hundreds of accidental poisoning incidents each year in the UK, both fatal and non-fatal cases. Generally, it's linked to faulty, poorly maintained and incorrectly installed appliances such as boilers, flues and the like. In UK case studies of fatal exposure, about 59% of deaths occurred inside domestic homes, with the remaining cases also linked to residential environments. So whether at home or abroad, clearly you're very much at risk. And as we all know, I've said it again and again, carbon monoxide is colourless, odourless and tasteless, and early symptoms often resemble the flu, making it almost impossible to identify without that alarm. So thank you for your ongoing support. This will obviously be circulated again to you all on Monday. You'll be able to watch all the videos in full, access the asset pack for download. My email address is on there as well, so if you have any direct questions, you're more than welcome to get in touch with me. Also, just wanted to thank ACO. They're been a partner since its inception, and we're very grateful for all their support ongoing. And yeah, I ask you all, please do get involved. Do what you can. Only one life, one person sees this, they take a CO alarm and their life saved this year. We've all done our job. But that time you think, oh, I've not got time to share it right now. Just wonder what the implications of not sharing could do. Thank you.
Great. Thanks, Rob. You're right. It's a very, very important reminder of why we do what we do. Okay. So we've had quite a lot of comments in the chat. One of the purposes of holding this session before we go live on Monday was just to sort of road test and get some of these messages and some of these images out there. And so we've had some really, really useful feedback from some of you that are out there. Albert Donnet, who is, well, it must be good morning, Albert. It's early morning there on the eastern seaboard of the US. Albert is a consultant toxicologist based in the US. He's asking Rob about be pictures of CO alarms, that they don't have a digital display, and that a digital display, though alarms only with a digital display can inform people of the CO level to which they're exposed and alert them before the levels triggering alarms. Now, my understanding of the digital displays in the UK is they don't quite, well, sorry, in Europe is they don't quite work like that. And to your second question, Albert, which was about the recommending that homes with gas appliances of any kind have at least one CO alarm, and whether the British Gas recommends alarms with or without displays. I think across the board, we recommend alarms tested to the standard EN 50291, which, yeah. And the standard doesn't require the LCD displays. But it's a good point and something that I think we will take away. And then Kelly France, who is from iGEM, I think. From an EDI perspective, the Don't Pack blind strap line, have we checked it with guide dogs or RNIB? She just makes the point that using the phrase or the word blind, it can have negative connotations and unfortunate associations that imply that people who are blind may not be as capable, or equating the word to ignorance or poor decision making. That's a really, really good point and something I think we'll take away and we can review, can't we? We then have Roland Vessling. Roland's one of our trustees, one of the court trustees, and he asks you, Rob, could you list the social media platforms that we're going to be running this on?
Yeah, absolutely. We'll send all that out on Monday. Links to all of those as well. But yeah, we have CO Alarm Live platforms on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, X, and on TikTok too. So we'll make sure everyone has access to those from Monday when all the details are shared.
Super, thank you. And then we have another question from Albert again, and he's asking why we recommend that people pack a CO alarm in suitcase. He makes the point we should carry portable CO alarms on their person. Again, a good point, something that we'll take under advisement and think about as we move forward. And then we have a comment from Avril Samuel. Avril is Katie's mother, who Rob mentioned earlier in his presentation. And she points out that we always take an alarm with us when we're staying with friends. We hope they have their boiler inspected regularly, but it's difficult sometimes to ask the question. In the States, Amanda Hanson, age 16, died when she stayed overnight with a friend. So that's something else that we should think about, that when we go to other people's homes, there is a possibility that we may find ourselves in difficulty. Does anybody else up? Yeah. Okay, sorry, I'm reading this as we go along. Albert is just making another comment with regard to blindness, that it's a symptom of CO poisoning and that blurry vision is often an early warning sign. So thank you for that, Albert. Does anybody else have any other comments or questions? We really, really appreciate the feedback that you guys have given us. It goes live on Monday, so we have an opportunity to take some of these points on board. Rob, do you have any more comments that you'd like to make?
No, I mean, thank you very much everyone for their feedback. I in terms of the Don't Pack Blind, yeah, I can see the connotation of that. I wanted it to be something that was potentially something that would make people stop and think, what does that mean? So it was really set up to be slightly not controversial, but something that would make people sit up and think. But equally, that wording is not used on probably 90% of the campaign, but more in the body text. So we can certainly tweak that, or you yourselves can tweak that if you not feel comfortable using those words. And just to say, in future campaigns, as Adrian alluded to, we're only very recently going to be part of this official group working supporting the APPG, so we'll be able to get everyone involved far earlier in the future. Now we're set up. Certainly, we'll be looking at CO Awareness Week is going to be the next hot topic straight away, and the level of collaboration before things are live will be far greater in the future. So I'd welcome everyone's involvement in getting involved and getting the messaging right for future campaigns.
Great, thank you, Rob. I think on a personal note, I'd like to thank you for all the work you've done on this campaign. You've You've virtually run this single-handedly over a number of years with little or no funding, and this year and going forward, finally, this will hopefully be a properly funded campaign. And there are lots of opportunities for those of you out there that work for organisations that have an interest in CO to support Rob's campaign. We're working with him, as are the gas distribution networks, IJM, COGDEM, Domestic and General, and others, ACO. So please, get in touch with Rob if you want to support these campaigns. And as we said, the campaign will be going live on Monday. And I think, sorry.
The campaign actually goes live, sorry, on the 20th. The
Sorry.
materials will be shared. The access to all the assets will be Monday. But it doesn't. We go live on the 20th, so we've got a little bit more time to make any
Sorry.
tweaks as needed.
Thank
That's
you.
all right. Just panicked.
Yeah. Yeah. So just a few final comments. Suzanne Callington, who is one of the leads on CO out there at Cadent, which is one of the gas distribution networks in the UK. For those who don't know the organisation, she just is responding to Avril's comment about children staying at friends' houses. It's something that she hadn't thought about, and even though she works closely on those CO topics, she hadn't even thought about that risk. And that sort of says it all, really, doesn't it? That we all, no matter how close we are to this, there's always an angle or something that perhaps we haven't considered, and that's what makes these sorts of, all activities and these campaigns so important. Okay, so if we've got no more questions, I think it just remains for me to say thanks to Rob for all the work that he's done on this. I really hope that you can all get behind the campaign this year and make it a great success. And a final little plug whilst I've got you on the line. On the 12th of November at the Institute of Directors in London, the CO Research Trust will be holding our annual conference. You can sign up and register on our website. I'd really urge you to do so. And as part of that, we'll be launching our winter campaign, or Rob's winter campaign, should I say? Our winter campaign. What am I saying?
Campaign.
So please do sign up for that and get involved. And we'll send out all the presentation and links to the materials on Monday. So thank you, everybody. Have a nice afternoon.
Thank you.